Hi there, students. Mercurial and Saturnine. Mercurial and Saturnine. I would use both of these as adjectives. Let's see, if you describe a person as mercurial, they're subject to sudden changes of mood or sudden changes of mind. They have a very volatile, unpredictable character. So he has a very mercurial temperament. He's always changing his mind. One minute he's relaxed and happy, and then suddenly he gets really upset, and then suddenly again he becomes really depressed. Saturnine talks about somebody who is serious, who is rather unfriendly. They're rather grave and gloomy and somber. You could also call them dour. That's a good synonym. Okay, so Mercurial and Saturnine. Mercurial, they've got a really changeable temperament. Yeah, maybe they're a bit bipolar. Whereas somebody who's Saturnine, they're really rather cold, serious, rather unfriendly, rather somber. Yeah, so a Saturnine temperament or a gloomy temperament. Yeah. Okay, you could also actually use Saturnine to talk about a person's features where maybe they're dark and swarthy. Saturnine would also go with that. Although I think Saturnine I would use to talk about somebody's temperament. Yeah, they're rather sad, they're rather somber, they're rather melancholy. Yeah, I guess you could also say the scene was rather saturnine. It was a rather saturnine occasion. It was gloomy and a bit depressing. Okay, so these come from the planets Saturn and Mercury. Yeah, but this I suppose comes from the gods Saturn and Mercury. These phrases, Saturnine and Mercurial, these really come from astrology. It's said in astrology that people under the influence of Saturn, they're rather melancholic, they're rather bitter, they're rather sardonic, they're a bit depressed. Yeah, they're quiet and maybe a bit sullen. Sullen's a good word. Whereas people who are born under under the influence of the planet Mercury, these are people who are very changeable in temperament, quite hot-blooded. Yeah, relating to the god or to the planet Mercury. And let's see, what were the characteristics of Mercury? Eloquent, shrewd, very swift, and maybe a bit dishonest as well. But no, Mercurial, very quick and changeable in temperament. Yeah, you could also use mercurial to talk about, in chemistry, to talk about something that contains mercury, which is very poisonous, by the way. Okay, and then Saturnine, rather bitter, rather depressed. So, which would you prefer, a Saturnine person or a mercurial person? Yeah, somebody who's very changeable. Okay, so these are two good words. I think both of these words sound really rather literary. Let's see, Saturnine, melancholy, depressed, maybe bitter or sad informally, and mercurial, maybe changeable, maybe a bit bipolar, volatile. I think both Saturnine and Mercurial, I think I would give a 6.5 to a 7 in formality. They both sound very literary words. So, yeah, use them in A semi-formal conversation, yeah, I suppose. Semi-formal writing, particularly something literary in an essay, these words would sound absolutely great. Um, and then, as to origin, well, Saturnine comes from under the influence of the planet Saturn. Yeah, Saturn the god, and then Mercurial um, uh, comes from the Roman god Mercury. Yeah, and the characteristics that people would give to this, or somebody under the astrological influence of the planet Mercury. So, which are you, Saturnine, Mercurial, or something else? Enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now, Saturnine and Mercurial.